Fake news from the Prime Minister. I'm Brian Lilley with the Rebel.media. There's a lot of furor over the concept of fake news and fake news organizations. But what about fake news being fed to us by our political leaders? Like when Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says this about a swanky vacation on a billionaire's private island.
This was our family vacation.
Family vacation at the home of the friend. That's what the Trudeaus want you to believe, but now we know the truth. Truth that's been coming out in dribs and drabs for, the last 2 weeks now? The latest, it wasn't just a family vacation for the Trudeaus. Liberal MP Seamus O'Regan was there with his husband. So was Liberal Party President Anna Gainey and her husband Tom Pitfield, the President of Canada 2020. A left-wing Liberal think tank that gets money from the Liberal government has done events with them, even went down to the state dinner in Washington. Is that a family vacation? That's what the Trudeaus want us to believe. Here's the extended clip from his news conference.
The fact is, the Aga Khan has been a longtime family friend. He was a pallbearer at my father's funeral. He has known me since I was a toddler, and this was our family vacation. As for the Conflict of Interest Commissioner and Ethics Commissioner, I look forward to answering any questions she may have.
Could you also confirm that you were there with another Member of Parliament? Could you identify that Member of Parliament? And could you tell me any other public office holders who were on Bell Island with you?
This was our family vacation, and I will answer any of the questions that the Ethics Commissioner has for me, and we will have more, I'm sure, more discussions about this in the coming weeks.
So Trudeau thinks he can get out of this by saying it's a family vacation, that the Aga Khan is a longtime family friend. I don't think so. This whole trip has had a bad air about it from the start, and much of the blame for that goes to Trudeau and his team, who've been secretive beyond belief. At first, they wouldn't tell Canadians or reporters that called that Trudeau was on vacation, his 10th vacation of the year. Then it was that he was on vacation as Canada kicked off our 150th birthday celebrations, but again, they didn't want to say where. Then it was revealed he was in the Bahamas, but no mention of a private island owned by a billionaire that does business with the government. Then we found out about the private island, and finally that the Liberal Party President, an MP, and Liberal booster were all present. Was he keeping this secret because he knows it looks bad? Even the Toronto Red Star said this was a bad idea. After noting the $310 million Canadians have given to the Aga Khan Foundation since 2004, including $55 million from the Trudeaus last year, the Star says the ethics of this are all wrong. Quote, "It's not so much that Trudeau would expect the Aga Khan to try and use their friendship to peddle influence, or that the Prime Minister would be susceptible to such entreaties. Rather, it's the optics of preference that matters here." The Star goes on to discuss avoiding the appearance of conflict of interest, the bad optic politics, and the appearance that the old Liberal attitude of entitlement is back. You know it's bad when the Toronto Star is pointing this out. Well, let me add another aspect: hypocrisy. In 2009, Christian Parody, who was then Stephen Harper's Public Works Minister, accepted a stay at a hunting cabin belonging to Marcel Aubu, former owner of the Nordiques and former head of the Canadian Olympic Committee. Aubu was part of the group trying to build an arena for the Nordiques and bring them back to Quebec. They wanted federal money. 3 years after that trip, in 2012, with no federal money going to Quebec City's new arena, the story of Parody's trip came out. The Harper Conservatives were clear. They didn't pay for professional sports arena with federal tax dollars, and they didn't give money to Quebec. Didn't matter. The Liberals wanted Parody gone. Then Liberal leader Bob Rae denounced Parody's actions in the House of Commons. Outside the Commons, he said Parody should resign. I think he should resign. I think he should step aside. He's put himself in a compromising situation. Our current Transport Minister, Marc Garneau, said the rules were clear. Parody shouldn't have done this. Quote, "If you are a minister, you should under no circumstances accept any invitations to go to a hunting camp unless it's from your family." The Liberals rode that story as long as they could, trying to force Parody out. It didn't happen. But what about their stance now, on their own leader? In his farewell address, U.S. President Barack Obama said that it breeds cynicism in politics when politicians pounce on behavior of the other guys while forgiving the same behavior on their own team. I agree, it's revolting. I've watched it for a long time. So, a simple question for the Liberals. Will you ask the Prime Minister to resign? Will you throw him and Seamus Reagan out of the Liberal caucus? I'm not going to hold my breath waiting for an answer on that, but Trudeau knows he messed up here. Might be part of the reason he and his team are being so secretive. It also makes me wonder what will come next. If you like the video you just watched, make sure you never miss another Rebel video again. Click subscribe down below or head on over to therebel.media and become a member.